How can I be joyful and happy this morning when I see the destruction of the United States of America coming? If you go to the Hebrew concordance in the Bible, if you go to the Hebrew language and the Hebrew alphabet, it is the DNA of creation. If you go to the Hebrew language, the word whirl has to do with destruction and judgment. Like you look at this fan above my head, going around and around. You know, in Ezekiel's vision, he saw a wheel within a wheel. And the point that was being made was that nothing can turn unless it turns from above first, as far as the judgment of heaven and earth, because God is in control. All authorities of God, because the first wheel that turns, the first cog, is His. It's God that does that. This morning, as I make this video, we know that our Supreme Court has just opened the door for destruction from God against this nation, because the all authority that is of God, or you resist the power of God, in the New Testament talks about, is talking about those who do the will of God. That authority is to punish the evildoer. But when the authority, instead of punishing the evildoer, starts punishing those who do right, then that very whirl, that wheel within a wheel, it turns into a curse against that authority, and that authority is judged. Now, those who should be pitied this morning is Homeland Security. I know a few people in Homeland Security. I know several police officers and detectives. I have been associated with police all of my life, most of the time when it was doing the right thing, but at times doing the wrong thing, growing up and learning the ropes. But even in that, it was righteous, it was good, because I learned my lessons and learned why God has that authority there. If somebody hadn't got in my way and stopped me from where I was going, I would have gone somewhere I really didn't want to go. But Homeland Security today in America, these people, the police, the majority of them in this country are people who want to do the right thing and do their job and protect and serve. And all these people that get on the internet, these different bloggers and internet sites that talk all this trash about the police and Homeland Security, that's the devil. Because first of all, the Bible says, do not do it. Because it's there to punish the evildoer. And if you do what's right, you won't have to fear them bearing the sword. So, but this morning, above Homeland Security in America, who's trying to protect this country from terrorism, and those who would do this nation evil, the authority above them, the Supreme Court, is sabotaging them, putting them in a bad position, because the Supreme Court is telling the authorities in this country that bear the sword to get the evildoer and to protect those who do right, then now they must protect that which is evil by passing the laws that they're passing about the sodomite community in America. Because God is not going to uphold what our Supreme Court is lifting up. God has already declared all of this, that the sodomite community in America is doing, as illegal, an abomination. Nations all throughout history have fallen because of believing that their authority existed from and of themselves rather than coming from a higher power, and that higher power is God. And so now, even more, you need to pray for Homeland Security, because these people who want to do the right thing are now having laws passed down to them that they must protect and carry out, that God says don't do that. So it's important this morning to please pray for Homeland Security, the police officers in this country, people who are trying to do what is right, because the majority of them do not want to come in conflict with God. That's why most of them took their job in the first place, because they wanted to serve God in some capacity by protecting against that which was evil. Now, with Homeland Security and police that want to do right, they understand it's not their job to turn against our government. What they're doing, they believe that there is a higher power, that God will deal with the authority above them, which would send them out to uphold that which is wrong. And God will deliver these kind of people that are in authority in America. Authority is good, but when authority goes wrong, there's an authority above that authority. And Christians, you just need to remember that God has his people in high places, people that love him, police, Homeland Security, senators, congressmen, people that are trying to do the right thing. It's not time to be rebellious and fight. It's time to pray and to speak the truth in love. Pray for Homeland Security, because the laws that have just been passed down by the Supreme Court about sodomite marriage, it's an abomination, and it's not defendable in righteousness. And the Bible says the law is good. And so what our Supreme Court, by whoever is pushing them, they're passing these laws, they are coming against God. They're supposed to speak for God. And they are now. They're speaking for the God of this world, Satan. Pray for Homeland Security.